saw Timmy just peeking up at me. I didn't bury him in the sand. So the big question I've asked then, should you keep a turtle? Because I can't really use all the shelving on it. So I've come up with a solution. I've not even spoken about the Nano. Right, where to start? We'll start up here. What is going on, guys, and welcome back to the vlog. So everything is going great. I hope it's going great for you as well. There's a few issues here and there, but nothing we can't fix quickly with a little bit of elbow grease. So for instance, I'm over here at Timmy's tank. Timmy! Now it's been, well, you saw the last time I actually cleaned the tank out, and it's starting to develop a little bit of algae again, but nothing like the mass that I had the last time. Remember, I blocked off some of the light. You can see at the top there the dashes of black. Oh, this is hard. Opposite. Anyway, the dashes of black, so we actually ended up cutting down the light by about 50% by putting those slats of black across, and that's done a trick. This really has worked, apart from the fact that, you know, there's a little bit of algae developed now that was that 3 weeks ago? That's pretty good going, so the tank is still getting balanced, obviously. But the good thing is with this setup, it's so easy to clean. All I've got to do is siphon off the top layer of sand, which is only like a really thin amount, give the stones a little toothbrush, works really well, drain some water and top it back up again, job done. Okay, the filter's making a horrible clicking sound because I need to prime it, but I just come around here, saw Timmy just peeking up at me. I didn't bury him in the sand. He's obviously gone down there, bless him. He must have been a little bit scared from the water change, but he'll be alright in a minute. We'll get some food in him. Come on then, Timmy. Come and get your food. You want some food? It's here. Come and get it. There we go. Out you get. Sorry to have disturbed you. Come on then, come round. Come round, little fella. Just see him peeking his head round. Look, come in. He likes to come over the top of the rock usually. Yeah, there we go. If you're hungry, fella, come and get it. Yeah, he's so cute, isn't he? Who loves Timmy? Like, if you guys want a turtle, I would suggest getting them. They're brilliant, especially a musk turtle like Timmy. Timmy's going to stay nice and small. He will get a bit bigger than this, but you know, he won't get a lot bigger than this, which means that he technically could just stay in this tank. I do want to do something else for him at some point, a better one, and also bring him a friend as well, so that's why I want to upgrade. But at the moment, this is working really, really well. Come on in. You guys know the drill by now. Timmy bites it, Timmy chews it for a sec, Timmy either drops it or he runs off with it. It's always one of those three. What's it going to be today, Timmy? You're going to chew it and run off, or you're going to bite it and lose it? So he's using his paws there to try and break it apart. The food's kind of hard when you first put it in the water, but it very quickly softens up and he'll just munch through it in no time. So the big question I've asked then, should you keep a turtle? If you want one, of course you should, but like, if you might be thinking, are they going to be really difficult to care for? I would say if you can look after fish, you can look after a turtle. All you've got to do is just slightly adapt the tank a little bit and provide a UVB and UVA bulb, which you can see is now on. I don't have that on all day, I have that on for like 8 hours. That's partly because Timmy's a musk turtle. Musk turtles don't really bask, but it's there, you know, if he wants to sort of perch on the end of one of those big rocks and just, you know, let it hit him. I don't know what I mean by hit him, but you know, sunbathe. Let's call it sunbathing. If Timmy wants to sunbathe, he can. I mean, that is effectively what the bulb is providing, is like a fake sunlight, if you like. It's so they can absorb vitamins through their shell and into their body. Now, dietary needs, as you've seen, it's so easy to feed them. I'd give him one of those pellets a day. I'm not sure he eats all of it. I'm not sure he needs to eat all of it, but he's growing nicely. He's over doubled in size now since I first got him, which is great. Quite a lot of you will be thinking, I want to put fish with them. You can do that, but don't be surprised if one day the fish are gone. If you're going to do that, make sure you get bigger fish. I mean, he can't chase things like Danios and stuff like that. He wouldn't have a chance. He's far too slow. But I think he did get a Endler guppy that I used to have with him once. I mean, it wasn't there one day and I couldn't find the remains of it anywhere. So so just be aware that that will happen if you did want to keep fish with him. In terms of cleaning, it's exactly the same as fish. I've got a filter attached to this. I just clean that out once a month. Not even that actually, I don't even think I've cleaned it out yet, but then this is quite a new setup. But the previous one I had an internal filter, again once a month, just rinse out the sponges in tank water obviously. So yeah, if you want one, I say absolutely go for it, providing you just look up and research what you need to a little bit more in depth. They're not particularly hard to care for, very similar to fish, and a lot of fun. What I've noticed with Timmy is that he always feels like my friend. Click subscribe. And whilst I was here, I just did a massive water change as well on the bowl aquarium, the tree one. That's actually doing really well. There's no algae in this, apart from the green water algae that I quite often get. You guys have seen it quite a few times in some of the vlogs or build videos. Why is the bowl aquarium so green? It's just green water. Sometimes it happens in no filter setups, as in there is no filter in this bowl. It's just plants, water, and a cheap LED strip light. But as you can see, it's growing the plants amazingly well, but you do get that occasional green water. It doesn't tend to happen on no filter setups where you've got a lot of stem plants, but this tank isn't really like that, is it? It's got a nice carpet of Monte Carlo and dwarf hairgrass, and it's got Monte Carlo as well in the tree itself. So that's probably why we're getting the green water, because the nutrients aren't getting sucked out of the water column like they would do with a stem plant. I could put a stem plant in, but it would take over and it would ruin the look. I could just stick with doing water change once a week. If I keep up on one water change a week, it would actually be pretty good. I tend to leave it till every 3 weeks though. So the space behind me is a really nice area, but it's become a bit of a dumping ground because I can't really use all the shelving on it. So I've come up with a solution. Yeah, look, this is what I mean, look, bit of a dumping ground. Because I'm not using anything here, you know, I've got empty tanks that we can be using and stacked up, lighted, whatever. But it's all just sort of sat there. The only thing I'm really using is the bowl. So let's just change that and make it look good. I've got a new racking system I can put there, and then I'm gonna get something else as well to go next to it. But for now, we'll just get that built. Well, first of all, we've got to take all this off and then take it all apart and build it. I'm just gonna do it quickly in a time lapse for you guys, because who wants to watch that, right? Okay, there we go. Looks pretty good, doesn't it? Well, I mean, you probably look at it thinking that looks very flimsy, filling those full of water. Each shelf is rated for 160 kilograms. Now, one of those full of water is about 70 kilograms, so we've got loads to play with, and it's plenty safe. But I think what I do want to do, to be honest, is just buy some wood and just put like a thin flat piece across the top of each one. I think it'll A, look better, and B, just add that extra support as well. But I want to make sure I'm evenly distributing the load as well. There we go, all painted nicely, a nice board on top. That'll spread the load evenly. Again, it probably wasn't necessary, but I didn't want to take any risks. Like I say, this isn't the cheap racking, this is the more expensive stuff, which means that it can take a higher load. I think the cheaper stuff, basically, the wiring is like half the thickness, so it looks the same like on Amazon, but it's not the same. So that's good, we got that. Right, next to it, I want to have a little display area for putting all my products on. I'll talk about that in a second. Oh yes, there we go. So the tanks are up, looking really smart. Still loads of space to be able to get in and do stuff to it. I want to make sure that I did that, because I know what I'm like and I won't maintain it well if it's awkward. Now I've got new lights coming, not that one, I don't like that one. It's got like blues in it and it just, it's just blues make algae in my opinion. Anyway, so I've got strip for that one, and I've also got 2 more of these racking systems to build now. But onto this one, this is where I'm keeping all my products at the moment. Now you can see here, it's all API and Aquarian, so they are the food brand that's owned by API as well. Basically what it is, this year or next year, 2021, API is going to be sponsoring quite a few videos for us. Now having sponsors for the channel is awesome for all of us. It just means we get more cash to the table, and that means I can keep on making even more cool projects, and I've got loads planned for the next year as well. But it will cost money at the end of the day. Plus also, every time we do a sponsored video, I'm going to do a giveaway. I had a few problems with shipping the last giveaway because of restrictions, so what I'm going to try and do in future is get stuff shipped directly in your own country, wherever you're from. Don't hold me to that though, because it's not always possible. And the other thing is, of course, you guys all know that API make great products. We've got great quality food here from Aquarian. I've got all my sort of, you know, cures down here. So we've got Primafix, White Cure Spot, Melafix, root tabs. I don't know why that's in with the medication. Some food, and then we've got stuff I use really regularly like AccuClear there. Anyway, that's enough. This isn't a sponsor video. I'm just explaining to you guys that I use these products anyway, so it's great to be able to have them as a channel sponsor moving forward into 2021. Right. We've got a bit of a mess going on. It's okay, it's okay. We'll sort it in a minute. So this whole thing's coming out. I'm going to build a whole nother rack there, a whole nother rack the other side. Let's go. Okay, on second thoughts, I'm now thinking that that gap is unnecessarily large. I could probably reduce it down to about half and probably give it a bit more stability as well. I mean, it's pretty solid. It's not going anywhere. Remember, these bars are fully steel. They're absolutely strong as hell, so we're all good strength-wise. I just think it looks a bit odd. Let me stand back a bit. Yeah, back here you see the gap between the two tanks is just, it looks a bit silly. I'm going to close it a bit. So it's more like these ones here. They look fantastic, don't they? All the Nanos. That kind of gap, that should be enough. You know, I only need to get a tool in sideways and go down. Why have I put this right in the way? There we go. Look, that's much, much better. Looks far less silly. See, I was worried about having these little bits poking up, thinking it would look untidy, but it doesn't. It looks fine. It looks perfect. Because obviously when we're filming the tank, will be sort of like this angle, hello, like this anyway. All I've got to do now is wait for the lights to arrive. Amazon should be here already. You're letting me down, Amazon. So I've just realised in all of this, I've not even spoken about the Nanos. I've been told off quite a few times in the comments from you guys, you've never shown the Nanos. I don't know why, I just normally walk past them. They require so little maintenance that sometimes I even forget they're here, but they do always look really nice in the background, you know, if I'm doing some filming and that. But let's pay some close attention to them now. Right, where to start? We'll start up here, because the other week, or about a month ago actually, this whole tank was just jam-packed with plants and you couldn't even see in it. Now I hacked it all back and all the underneath plants, that makes sense. The plants that are underneath all the cover had browned off obviously because they weren't receiving any light. Well, they're almost completely recovered. They look really, really good. And all of the stuff that I trimmed at the back, look, we've got new shoots growing on everything. So that's Rotala rotundifolia, the ones you can see at the back. Mixed with 𝗲𝘂𝗀𝗃𝗃 as well, so there's like the two combined. Pink you get and reds as well then. The pink is from the rotundifolia. Nice little bit of bogwood just lying in the middle. Really simple scape this and I love it. It's got dirt underneath the sand, so providing long-term nutrients. There's tons and tons of cherry shrimp. There's also my pea puffer in here. Can you see him? I can't see him at the moment. Pea, where? Oh, there he is. There he is. I found him. There he is. He's just hiding back there at the moment. Obviously, it's all been disturbed because I took all the water out and moved it all. But looking great. It's going to recover and it'll look amazing in no time at all. I reckon give this a couple of weeks and it's going to look insane. And then next to it is the Ikebana aquarium. Ikebana, I don't even know, but that is just completely growing out of the top now. Look at that rotundifolia. Oh, by the way, look at my nice kids' pictures behind. Really cute. It's Henry's fish, and that's Jacob's colouring in. Really good in between the lines. Nice work, Jacob. They need to be lifted up now so we can see them better, but that's not what we're looking at the moment. So the bowl, I've not done a water change in about 3 months. All I've done is top it up when it drops down. I'm going to do something different soon though. I'm going to go for like a dirted no filter. So like this one, but no filter, and just I really find them so interesting to look at, and that's why I want to do that. And right next to it, believe it or not, this started as a tiny one little piece of trident fern, and now look at it, it looks so great. I'm going to take this out and use it as a centerpiece at some point in one of the 60 centimeter tanks that we've got, you know, one of those or one of those. I'm not sure which one yet. There's also an absolute ton of what looks to me like Taiwan moss just sitting in the top. I didn't put that in this tank, so I don't know how it's got in there, but I'm not complaining because it just looks really, really nice and natural. But again, just another simple one, little hang on the back filter with this one. Yeah, so hang on the back filter on that one, little cheap one, no filter in that one, and then this one has got just this tiny little nano one. I've put links to this before for you guys. They'll work so well in little nanoscapes. Now down below on this side, it's just a storage one. I've got a ton of moss balls in there. I'm going to be using at some point in another scape. And this one on this side was the one I set up for Phantom, the betta fish that went completely green. Well, it's recovering massively well now. It's doing great. It should bounce right back. We've only got a little bit of algae left, which is awesome. And then of course, not to forget Mike, who's patiently now just sat there waiting for me to feed him, but it's not his food time. This tank again is a little bit overgrown. I'm going to trim trim it back shortly. Or it's actually, I think it's just the floating plants, because the Amazon frog bit just sort of takes over. It's a big old plant, you see. It starts off small but gets pretty big, and for nano tanks it's not really a great choice. Like in the goldfish tank next to it, look, you can see that it's okay because you've got that height. By the way, these are all plants that have been installed for other setups, but they're not harming at all. If anything, they're improving the water quality, so the fish love going in and out of them as well. But yeah, it's all good. So far, we're doing really good, guys, aren't we? And we've got tons and tons to be able to set up now. I'm so looking forward to it. Oh yeah, there was a rack here, remember, and I actually just moved it, look, over there. It's currently got the tree on the hill, 𝗯𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀 on it. I'm going to put something else next to it there, and then something else below it. But yeah, all looking so good so far. So that is the end of this vlog, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this one. If you have, click the like and subscribe button, and I'll see you on the next one.